If you're a man over 60 and you're waking up 3, 4, even 6 times a night just to pee, this is not normal, and it's not just aging. What if I told you that your enlarged prostate, that constant urgency, the weak stream, and the quiet frustration in the bedroom could all be connected to one missing vitamin? A single nutrient, so small, so overlooked, that when brought back into balance, has been shown to naturally shrink the prostate, restore bladder control, and even bring back your confidence as a man. I'm Dr. Rena. For over 30 years, I've specialized in men's health and hormone balance, working with thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've watched men reclaim their vitality, not through pills or surgery, but by giving the body what it was missing all along. Most men are told the prostate just grows with age, that there's nothing you can do but manage symptoms, but that's simply not true. In fact, many of the problems start when your body runs low on a specific vitamin that controls inflammation, balances testosterone, and protects your pelvic health from the inside out. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how this one tiny vitamin works in your body to shrink the prostate, improve urine flow, and support sexual health without side effects or dependency. And if you stay with me, I'll also reveal 4 simple movements you can do at home to boost your results even further. It's time to take back control of your health, and I'm going to show you how. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit that button and turn on the bell, so you never miss another natural health tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if you find this video helpful, just type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. I read every comment, and your feedback helps me make even better content for you. Now that you understand what's possible, let's talk about why these prostate problems begin in the first place, especially after age 60. Because once you know the root cause, you'll see why this one tiny vitamin can make such a powerful difference. 1. Why prostate problems begin after 60. I've sat across from countless men in my office, men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, who look me in the eye and ask the same question: why now? They've lived strong, independent lives. They've raised families, built careers, worked with their hands, and handled challenges like warriors. And yet they find themselves frustrated by something as basic and as private as their ability to urinate. The truth is, what most men experience after 60 isn't just a random curse of aging. It's a slow, silent shift inside the body. And once you understand it, you can do something about it. You see, as you age, your testosterone levels begin to drop. That much is natural. But what many men don't realize is that the body also starts converting more of that precious testosterone into a more aggressive hormone called DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. When DHT builds up, it begins to enlarge the prostate. It causes inflammation, and that inflamed prostate presses against your urethra, making it harder to urinate, harder to sleep through the night, and harder to feel like yourself. But here's the real kicker. This hormonal shift isn't the only reason. There's often another trigger happening in the background, a quiet deficiency that allows all of this to unfold more quickly and more severely. And that's exactly where one small but powerful vitamin comes in. It plays a critical role in hormone balance, inflammation control, and prostate health. Most men don't even know they're missing it. In just a moment, I'll show you exactly what this vitamin is, how it works inside your body, and how taking the right amount could change everything. From your bladder function to your energy and even your intimacy. What you're about to hear may surprise you because this is not something most doctors take the time to explain. But once you understand it, you'll never look at your health the same way again. 2. How vitamin D3 shrinks an enlarged prostate naturally. There was a moment I'll never forget. An older gentleman named Carl, 68, sat across from me with a quiet look of defeat in his eyes. He said, "Doc, I feel like my body's turning against me. I'm not sleeping, I can't pee right, and I just don't feel like a man anymore." It wasn't just the physical symptoms that were wearing him down. It was the slow erosion of his dignity. When we checked his blood work, the culprit was clear. His vitamin D3 levels were dangerously low. But what happened next changed everything. You see, vitamin D3 is far more than a nutrient. It's like a switchboard operator for your body, quietly managing systems you don't even think about. It's especially powerful when it comes to inflammation, which is the root cause of prostate enlargement. When D3 levels drop, inflammation rises. The tissues around the prostate swell, blood flow decreases, and the result is that tight, uncomfortable pressure you feel. The urgency, the weak flow, the interrupted sleep. But when D3 is restored, something remarkable begins to happen. That inflammation settles, the pressure eases. The prostate slowly, gently begins to shrink back to its natural size. And that's not all. Vitamin D3 helps regulate the delicate balance between testosterone and DHT. By keeping that conversion in check, it prevents the hormonal overload that causes the prostate to swell in the first place. For Carl, it took less than a month before he could sleep through the night. And when he looked at me with a smile and said, "I feel like I got part of my life back," I knew we were on the right path. But healing from the inside is only half the story, because to truly restore function, strength, and confidence, you also need to move the body in the right way. And that brings us to 4 gentle yet powerful movements that can help support your prostate every single day. 3. The hidden benefits for testosterone and sexual health. Not long ago, a man named Richard came to see me. He was 74, widowed, and honest about what he was going through. He told me, "Doc, I've come to terms with a lot of things in life, but losing my drive, my intimacy, my sense of being a man, that one's hard to swallow." He wasn't just talking about sex. He was talking about identity, about feeling alive, connected, and whole. What Richard didn't realize, and what many men don't, is that the same vitamin that helps shrink an enlarged prostate also plays a powerful role in restoring sexual health. Vitamin D3. What's remarkable about vitamin D3 is how deeply it affects testosterone. It helps activate the Leydig cells in the testes, which are responsible for producing testosterone naturally. With age, these cells slow down, but D3 wakes them up. And not just that, it helps reduce the amount of testosterone that gets converted into DHT, the hormone that causes prostate swelling and hair loss. In this way, vitamin D3 acts as a natural balancer, protecting both your reproductive system and your masculine energy. But there's more. Vitamin D3 also supports nitric oxide production in the blood vessels, which is essential for strong, reliable erections. It improves blood flow not just to the heart or brain, but to the areas that matter most in a man's confidence and connection. For Richard, it was like someone turned the lights back on. He told me a few weeks later that he was sleeping better, had more energy, and even felt like flirting again. That smile in his voice, it said everything. So if you've been feeling a little off, a little disconnected from the man you once were, don't ignore it, because your body may just be calling out for what it's missing. And when that's restored, the change can be profound. But even with the right nutrients and hormones in balance, there's one more piece we can't ignore: your foundation, your structure, your strength. And that's exactly where we're heading next. 4. Vitamin D3 strengthens the pelvic area too. I remember a man named Tom, 71 years old, who came to me not because of his prostate, but because of nagging hip pain that just wouldn't go away. He walked with a slight limp, struggled to sit comfortably, and couldn't remember the last time he'd gone for a walk without stopping. But as we talked more, he opened up about frequent nighttime urination, trouble starting his stream, and a general sense of pressure in his lower belly. At first, he didn't see the connection, but I did. What Tom was experiencing wasn't just joint discomfort. It was a deeper sign that his pelvic foundation was weakening and his prostate was paying the price. You see, your pelvic area, the muscles, joints, ligaments, and nerves around your hips and lower spine, acts like a support system for your prostate and bladder. When that structure becomes unstable, inflamed, or weakened with age, it can shift everything out of balance. That's when problems start, and here's where vitamin D3 comes in, once again proving it's more than just a vitamin. Vitamin D3 helps maintain strong bones and muscle function, especially in the spine, hips, and core. It improves the way your muscles contract, supports better posture, and even enhances nerve communication across the pelvic region. With healthy D3 levels, the body has the strength to hold itself upright, the mobility to move fluidly, and the internal control to support the organs that sit quietly below the surface. For Tom, improving his D3 levels led to more than better sleep. It gave him back his ability to move freely without pain, and over time, even his urination improved. He didn't expect that outcome, but his body had been waiting for that support all along. And yet, as powerful as vitamin D3 is, it can't do everything alone. Your body needs movement, intentional, targeted movement, to activate healing and restore proper function. That's why what I'm about to share next might be the most practical and effective thing you can do each day to support your prostate naturally. 5. 4 gentle exercises that help shrink the prostate naturally. Years ago, I worked with a retired firefighter named Dennis. He was tough, proud, and used to powering through pain. But when it came to his prostate, he admitted he felt helpless. "I'm doing everything right," he said. "I'm eating better, taking the vitamins, but I'm still getting up 4 times a night. What else can I do?" That's when I asked him a simple question. "How often do you move your hips and stretch your pelvis?" He looked at me and said, "Doc, I'm 72. I don't bend like I used to." And that's exactly the point. Most men don't realize that movement, specifically in the pelvic and lower spine region, is essential to prostate health. It's not about lifting heavy weights or running marathons. It's about restoring gentle circulation, releasing tension, and supporting the muscles that hold your prostate in place. When you sit too much, when your hip joints are stiff, when your abdominal wall weakens, it all puts extra pressure on your prostate. Over time, that pressure contributes to swelling, discomfort, and poor bladder control. That's why I teach 4 specific movements to nearly every man I work with. They're simple, safe, and designed for older bodies. Gentle hip openers, basic core activators, and relaxing pelvic stretches that can be done right at home. No equipment, no embarrassment, and no risk. When Dennis committed to these stretches just 10 minutes a day, the changes were remarkable. Within 2 weeks, his nighttime trips to the bathroom had cut in half. A month later, he told me, "I'm sleeping through the night for the first time in years." It's incredible what happens when your body finally feels supported. But these results don't happen by accident. They come from consistency and from giving your body the right tools. And as powerful as movement and vitamin D3 are, there's still one more key to this puzzle. A natural mineral that works hand in hand with vitamin D3 to protect and heal the prostate. And chances are, you're not getting enough of it. 6. Add zinc for extra prostate support. There's a story I often think about, a man named Walter, 76, who came in not just for his prostate, but for a deeper kind of fatigue. He told me, "Doc, I'm tired of feeling tired. I've got no drive, no spark, and everything just feels slow." We had already addressed his vitamin D3 levels, and he was feeling better. But something was still missing. When we ran a few more labs, the results pointed to a simple mineral that most people overlook: zinc. Zinc is one of the unsung heroes of men's health, especially when it comes to the prostate. It's found in high concentrations in healthy prostate tissue, and for good reason. Zinc plays a direct role in regulating testosterone, controlling the production of DHT, and supporting the repair of prostate cells. When zinc levels drop, and they often do with age, poor diet, or digestive issues, your body begins to fall out of hormonal balance. That's when symptoms return. The urgency, the weak flow, the aching discomfort, they all begin creeping back. For Walter, adding a high-quality zinc supplement to his daily routine made a noticeable difference within just a few weeks. His energy began to rise, his mental clarity returned, and he looked at me with the kind of gratitude that's hard to put into words. "I didn't know something so small could make me feel so strong again," he said. "It reminded me that true healing is never about just one thing. It's about giving the body every building block it needs to thrive." So, while vitamin D3 is your foundation, zinc is your reinforcer. Together, they work hand in hand to calm inflammation, restore hormone function, and protect the very gland that so many men struggle with in silence. But as powerful as nutrients are, some men need an extra edge, a little more help to speed up the healing. That's where nature steps in with time-tested herbs that have been supporting prostate health for generations. Let me show you which ones are actually worth your time. 7. Optional herbs for deeper healing. Sometimes, even when a man is doing everything right, taking vitamin D3, getting a zinc, stretching daily, there's still something missing. That was the case with Harold, a 69-year-old retired mechanic with hands tough from decades of work, but a voice softened by frustration. "Doc," he said, "I'm better than I was, but not where I want to be. Is there anything else?" That's when I introduced him to a few herbs that have been used for centuries. not as quick fixes, but as gentle, powerful allies in the healing process. One of the most effective herbs I recommend for prostate support is Tribulus terrestris, often called gokshura in traditional medicine. It's known for boosting natural testosterone production, improving libido, and supporting the urinary tract. For men like Harold, it works quietly but steadily, helping the body restore what time and stress may have stripped away. Within weeks, he noticed less pressure, stronger flow, and, what he appreciated most, a quiet return of confidence in his own body. Another deeply effective herb is Pumyamalaki, or Philanthus neruri. While lesser known, this herb plays a crucial role in supporting the liver and reducing excess DHT, the hormone tied to prostate growth. It also helps cleanse the gut and reduce bloating, two things most men don't realize are deeply connected to pelvic inflammation. Herbs like these aren't magic bullets, but when combined with a strong foundation, nutrients, movement, and awareness, they can speed up healing, support the organs beneath the surface, and help a man feel more whole again. That's the real goal, after all, not just fewer bathroom trips, but feeling like yourself again. But how do you know if it's working? That's the next piece. Because once you begin making these changes, it's important to know what to expect and when. In just a moment, I'll walk you through what typically happens week by week, so you'll know exactly where you are on the path back to strength. 8. What to expect and when. One of the questions I hear most often is, how long will it take before I notice a difference? It's a fair question and an important one, because when you've been struggling for months or even years with prostate issues, it's natural to want results. But healing the body, especially from the inside out, doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, gentle, steady, and incredibly rewarding when done right. Let me tell you about Paul, a 73-year-old man who started this exact routine after years of restless nights and mounting frustration. In the first few days, he noticed something subtle. He felt calmer. His digestion improved. He wasn't rushing to the bathroom as often. By the end of the first week, he was waking up only once at night instead of 3 or 4 times. His body was beginning to trust the changes. By week 2, he said he felt lighter, not just physically, but mentally too. The pressure in his lower belly had eased, his stream was stronger, and his energy started to come back. By week 4, he looked like a man who had reclaimed something deeply personal: his rhythm, his confidence, his peace of mind. His story is not uncommon. When you give your body the right tools, vitamin D3, zinc, movement, and healing herbs, it knows what to do. Most men begin to feel shifts within the first week or 2. By the end of the first month, the signs are clearer: better sleep, fewer bathroom trips, stronger flow, and even improvement in sexual energy. But the key is consistency. Healing is earned through repetition, through showing up for yourself every day. If you do that, your body will respond. Now, if you've come this far, you've already taken the first step. But before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final message, something every man over 60 needs to hear. It's not just about your prostate, it's about your legacy, your health, and what it truly means to feel alive again. Let's talk about that. 9. Final doctor's words of encouragement. If you've made it this far, I want to say something simple but true. You are not alone, and it's not too late. I've worked with so many men who felt like their best years were behind them. They were tired of the bathroom trips, the lost intimacy, the slow decline that no one warned them about. But I've also watched those same men rebuild their health, starting with one small step. You now know the power of vitamin D3, how it reduces inflammation, balances hormones, and helps shrink the prostate naturally. You've learned about the role of zinc, the importance of movement, the strength of natural herbs, and how it all works together over time. None of this is magic. It's biology, and it's hope. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even their 80s feel like themselves again, not by chasing youth, but by respecting their bodies enough to give them what they truly need. If you follow these steps with consistency and patience, you won't just improve your prostate, you'll rediscover a part of yourself that you thought was gone. And that's something no pill can ever offer. Stay strong, stay committed, and take back your health, one day at a time.